Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily NVIDIA report for Monday, November 10th, 2025. Let's take a look at the charts. I am going to start with this chart. There's a lot here to break down. We'd mentioned the low 180s as pullback support that can contain selling through the rest of the year. This is still true. We got a nice bounce off of this formation later Friday. We tested it on Friday, broke it on Friday, not by a wide margin. It is 182.72 on the daily chart. I'll show that in a moment. But, from here, we can round up, recover nicely with present volatility, like within 2 to 3 weeks. But normally, I would say by the end of the year, we could push into that 219.64 level, which is a full swing, January minus April plus January high. We also have, this rising channel top. We have another wave count that goes much further back to 22. So there's a lot going on. I'm just going to round up to the upper 220s because I think that is our big resistance area. And yes, I do see it as in reach over the next 2 to 3 months at the most, above 183.42. So 183.42 trend support. We tested it. Despite the big sell-off that occurred last week, this area did hold pretty well. If you had a tight stop loss, you got stopped out in a long position. Maybe you clamored to get back on the long side late in the day as it became obvious we were going to close above this structure, because having closed above it does keep open the possibility. And in fact, I'm going to call it an objective. A 2 to 3 week target now at 214.82, which is a newly formed rising channel top based in part on this low that was put out Friday. So you've got a sister formation. You've got channel support at 182.72, and you have its sister channel top at 214.82. Over the next 2 to 3 weeks, this is what we're anticipating. So, if you're a 2 to 3 week swing trader, there is nothing to be but long right now, holding above that 183.42 level, and that's at 182.72 on the daily chart. If we close below it, we have a sell signal. But now, while we're talking about the upside, let's continue with the upside in terms of our resistance. There is this steeply descending channel top today at 192.58. I see this as our upward pivot point for the week. In other words, if we were to close above 192.58, we have a good weekly low. And with present volatility, we could reach 207.04 by Friday's close. That would be quite a rally, but I think that is what is possible here. We have all these other little minor levels mapped out pretty well. We've got 195.55, which is a 50% upside retracement. As this continues to drop through the week, and if we don't close above it, and we close above it later in the week, let's say over the next couple of days, we'll probably upgrade 195.55 to a session containment level just because it's such close correlation with that earlier October high. But I digress. If we push through 192.58 today, 195.55 in reach, that could be it for the day. And if we close today above this descending channel top, as I say, a good low for the week, 207.04, then likely. By the end of next week or sooner, could certainly be by Friday's close. We're already anticipating 214.82, remember, as a 2 to 3 week target, holding above that 183.42 level. And I'm looking for the chart here again. There it is. No, that's not it. That's not it. My apologies. I get really sort of there. I think this is it. Yes, 214.82 above the 183.42 to 182.72 area. That covers the upside, I think, pretty well.
If you're finding value in this analysis, it's only a glimpse of what we offer. Your real trading edge starts at wickedstocks.com. Each week, premium members receive 2 high-probability stock picks. Each one comes with a complete trade plan, including exact entry, profit target, stop loss, and regular updates so you can manage the trade with confidence. You'll also get daily video analysis in the top traded markets, the SPY, the Triple Q, and NVIDIA, highlighting the key price levels, trends, and trade setups we're focused on. Whether you're day trading or swing trading, these insights help you zero in on the highest quality opportunities with clarity. Try it all free for 5 days. Cancel at any time.
Let's talk downside. if we were to, with present volatility, close today, Monday, below 182.72, 164.07, that September low, wouldn't surprise me by Friday's close. We've got minor levels all the way down, but I just wouldn't want you getting hung up on any of these old lows, which are these minor points. And what I mean by that is, a bottom picking for the day. I just think that this market looks quite weak with a settlement today below 182.72. Now, if we get overnight weakness in the futures market and for whatever reason open below 182.72 today, we have a sell signal right out of the gates. Now, I wouldn't lean too heavily into that as this sort of destined then bearish continuation as we move into later November. That would indeed play out, or at least be indicated, if we were to settle today below 182.72. So let me just go with the settlement. Closing today below 182.72, 164.07 in reach by the end of next week, possibly by the end of this week. And if we close, and then I'm going to assume that we close the week. So let me back up and re-clarify that the short-term target with a settlement below 182.72 is 164.07. Whether that's by the end of this week or next week, that would be the idea. But overall, I see within 2 to 3 weeks, 155.49. So this is, and we've been watching this structure all along, but for the time being, I'm bumping it up as kind of a trend-defining support level. We don't show it here, but it will be and is a 4-star multi-week support level. So holding above 183.42 maintains bullish momentum through the rest of the year, despite the big sell-off that we saw, last week. But holding above 183.42 allows this market to recover nicely to 219.64 or 214 and change over the next 2 to 3 weeks, and over the next couple of months, this upper 220s. On the other hand, if we close below 182.72, which is the same formation on the weekly chart at 183.42, we have a 2 to 3 week, could be within 1 week, 155.49 objective. And I say 1 week because of last week's volatility. And so there you have it. So if you're a 1 to 3 week swing trader, let's put it that way, if we close today below 182.72, your objective is 155.49. And here we could bottom out, given the fact that it's just above this old high area. If we tested it this week or the next couple of weeks, it may well contain selling through the rest of the year and into Q1. From here, we can round up again. Finally, it would be a settlement below 155.49 that would then set up 117.80 as a, let's just call this a 2 to 3 month target. I don't expect 117.80 unless we close below 155.49. I want to clarify that because I've been mentioning now for the last few weeks that if we close below this low 180s support, I would expect not only the upper 140s to low 150s, but also possibly the 110s, 120s. And I just don't see 117.80 as a clear-cut objective unless we close below 155.49. I don't expect 155.49 unless we close today, for instance, below 182.72. Until then, we are in bottom picking territory in the low 180s, this 182.72 to 183.42 region, anticipating 214.82 over the next 2 to 3 weeks. And over the next several months, I'm expecting the upper 220s. It's about as simple as that. I hope this all made sense. I am going to leave it at that. Please click like, share, subscribe. Check out wickedstocks.com. I will be back tomorrow, of course, with Tuesday's NVIDIA report. You have a great day.